Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yes, welcome back.
This time we're looking at Rwanda's goal to become a major hub for university education in Africa by 2035.
It's a really ambitious goal.
It is ambitious, so today we'll be exploring their strategies and considering what this could all mean for the future of higher education across the continent.
Well, I think what's really striking is that Rwanda isn't just setting these lofty goals.
Yeah.
They're already making some serious moves.
Right, and I was really blown away when I saw the numbers.
Yeah.
The number of foreign students in Rwanda has absolutely skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're talking about a jump from just 1,400
Yeah.
in 2017 to over 9,109 in 2024.
Yeah.
That's huge. What's driving that, do you think?
Well, I think it's a few things. Rwanda has really prioritized stability and security, which is a huge draw for students from other countries.
Yeah, makes sense.
And their economy is steadily growing.
Right.
Which means opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And they're strategically investing in education.
So it's not just about saying, hey, we have universities. It's about the whole package.
Absolutely. It has to be the whole package.
The environment, the
Yeah.
safety, everything.
The whole experience, yeah.
Are there any specific examples of these investments that you think really stand out?
Absolutely. Look at the University of Rwanda and the University of Global Health Equity, or UGHE.
Okay.
Both of them have earned spots in the top 10 universities in sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow.
That's no small feat.
Top 10, that's a really big deal.
It is a big deal.
So they're really aiming for quality then,
Yeah, they are.
not just quantity.
Exactly.
How are they achieving that quality?
Well, Rwanda is undertaking this huge overhaul of university programs.
Okay.
Basically, they're laser focused on aligning those programs with the current job market,
Interesting.
making sure that graduates have the skills that employers are looking for.
That makes sense.
It's practical and it's really smart, especially for students who are looking to boost their career prospects.
Yeah, because what's the point of a degree if you can't get a job afterwards?
Exactly. It has to be useful.
So this whole becoming a university education hub thing,
Yes.
what does that actually look like?
Well, it's really interesting. They're developing a really comprehensive strategy
Okay.
to evaluate their strengths, identify areas for improvement, and map out a clear roadmap for the future.
It sounds kind of like they're building the plane while they're flying it.
Kind of, but they're doing it strategically.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
So it sounds like they're thinking long term, trying to get ahead of problems.
absolutely.
But, I mean, such rapid growth,
Yeah.
it can't happen without any hurdles.
Oh, of course not.
What are some of the roadblocks they might encounter?
Well, one of the biggest challenges
Yeah.
is ensuring that the quality of education doesn't get diluted as the system expands so quickly.
Makes sense.
Like maintaining those high standards across a rapidly growing number of institutions and students.
Right, because more students doesn't necessarily mean better education.
Exactly. It's about balance.
You also have to think about the logistics of it all.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You have this growing student population, especially the ones coming from other countries, housing support services.
All of that.
That's where things could get tricky.
Absolutely. Well, to address that, they're planning a substantial increase in hostel capacity at the University of Rwanda,
Okay.
which is a good concrete step towards meeting the demand.
Yeah.
But it's just one piece of the puzzle. It needs
Right.
to be a more comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
You need to include things like visa support,
Yeah.
cultural integration,
Yeah, all of that.
all of that stuff.
It's a big task.
It is a big task.
Huge.
Very big.
Do you think they're underestimating that challenge?
Well, one thing I thought was really interesting is MP Belinda Rutabuka had a suggestion
Okay.
to establish a dedicated center
Okay.
to assist foreign students specifically
Mm.
with visas, accommodation, and other needs.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and that shows that they're listening to feedback,
Yeah,
thinking about the student experience from every angle.
that's good. They're considering the little things as well.
They are.
That suggests a real commitment to attracting students, but also making sure that they're supported when they get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creating that sense of belonging for them.
So it's about more than just getting them there. It's about making sure they thrive.
It is.
Let's kind of shift gears for a second and think about the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
What are the potential implications of Rwanda's vision here?
Well,
Not just within Rwanda itself, but across the entire African continent.
I mean, this is where it gets really fascinating.
Yeah.
Imagine if they succeed.
Yeah.
This could trigger a massive shift,
Okay.
moving the focus of higher education in Africa away from traditional centers in other parts of the world.
So we're talking about a future where
Yeah.
more African students are choosing to stay in Africa to study,
Yes.
benefiting from programs that are specifically designed for the continent's needs,
Exactly.
and then contributing directly to Africa's growth.
That's the idea.
That's amazing.
It is a very exciting prospect.
So it's about empowering those African students, fostering innovation,
Yeah.
and creating a more self-reliant Africa
Yeah.
that's driven by its own intellectual capital.
Exactly.
That's a really powerful vision.
It is.
But before we get too carried away with the potential benefits,
Right.
I think it's also worth pausing to consider any potential downsides.
Of course.
Are there any risks associated with this?
Well, one potential concern is that this focus on attracting foreign students could inadvertently lead to neglecting the needs of Rwandan students.
Okay, yeah, that's an important thing to consider.
It is.
So how do they balance that?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that everybody benefits?
It's a really delicate balance to strike.
It is.
Do you think that rapid growth is always the best approach?
That's another good question. I mean, could there be a risk of moving too fast and potentially compromising quality
Yeah.
or overlooking important details?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a balancing act for
Right.
sure.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how they might mitigate those risks.
Yeah.
Do you think they're prepared to handle the potential downsides of this plan?
That's a really complex question.
Yeah.
I mean, they've certainly demonstrated a really proactive approach so far, but it remains to be seen, how effectively they can navigate the challenges that lie ahead.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
It is.
between ambition and pragmatism.
Absolutely.
So we've identified some potential challenges and risks.
Yes.
How do you see them tackling these while still maintaining these ambitious goals?
Well, one thing that's become really clear is that their success hinges on more than just building universities.
Okay.
It's about cultivating an ecosystem that actually supports both students and faculty.
Right. So it's not just the building.
No, it's the people.
Yeah.
It's not only about the practical considerations like housing and visas,
Yeah.
but also about fostering that sense of belonging for international students.
So it's that holistic approach again.
Yes. Creating an environment where learning and innovation can really thrive.
And to do that effectively, you have to address all of these concerns.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to make sure that Rwandan students aren't left behind
Right.
in this whole pursuit of international recognition,
Mm-hmm.
finding ways to maintain quality as they scale up,
Absolutely.
being mindful of the pitfalls of growing too quickly,
Yeah.
and making sure the progress is sustainable and benefits everyone involved.
Those are all key components for sure.
It's like walking a tightrope.
It is.
You need that balance.
You need balance.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
It's about being flexible, responsive to challenges,
All of that.
and keeping that ultimate goal in mind.
Right.
So what is that ultimate goal?
Creating a world-class education system that empowers individuals,
Yep.
strengthens communities,
Okay.
and ultimately transforms Rwanda into a beacon of knowledge and innovation.
That's a really powerful vision.
It is a powerful vision.
But I want to kind of delve into the specifics a bit more.
Sure.
What are some concrete steps they can take to mitigate those risks that we've talked about?
Well, one key area is ensuring equitable access to higher education for all Rwandan students.
Okay.
So that might mean expanding scholarship programs, increasing financial aid, and developing targeted initiatives to support students from disadvantaged backgrounds.
Leveling the playing field.
Absolutely, making sure everyone has the opportunity to benefit.
What about maintaining quality as things expand?
Well, they could strengthen their accreditation process,
Okay.
require all institutions to meet very rigorous quality standards,
That makes sense.
invest in faculty development programs.
Yeah.
So the educators have the latest knowledge and teaching methodologies,
Okay.
and establish a really robust system of monitoring and evaluation.
So it's not just a one-time thing.
It's constant.
You have to constantly keep checking,
Exactly.
making sure things are going in the right direction.
Always checking.
It seems like a lot of work,
It is.
but also a lot of potential for positive change. And that's really exciting.
It is.
But I'm curious about your thoughts on Rwanda's ambition
Yeah.
and what it could mean for the rest of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be a catalyst for a continental shift?
That's a fascinating question and one that we should definitely explore more.
And let's dive into that.
Let's do it.
What are some of the ripple effects we might see if Rwanda achieves this goal?
Okay, so imagine Rwanda becomes this magnet
Okay.
for talented students and faculty from all over Africa,
Yeah.
drawn by its world-class institutions, its cutting-edge research, and this vibrant academic community.
So it's like a reverse brain drain
It is.
where Africa's brightest minds choose to stay in Africa
Exactly.
instead of going abroad.
That's the idea.
That's awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
And with that influx of talent, you get the innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth.
That's real.
And we could see new industries driven by this homegrown expertise,
Yeah.
fueled by collaboration and creativity.
Yeah.
So it's not just Rwanda benefiting, it's the whole continent.
Right. It's that multiplier effect.
That's really cool.
It is.
But this is all hypothetical.
It is hypothetical.
There's still a lot of challenges
Yeah,
ahead
the challenges.
and
yeah.
a lot of unknown.
We don't know what's going to happen.
But the fact that they're even trying,
That's huge.
it signals a shift in mindset.
It does.
This belief that Africa can be a leader
Mm-hmm.
in education and innovation.
And that's really powerful.
So it's this statement of ambition that Africa is ready to take its place on the world stage.
yes.
Not just as a consumer of knowledge,
Right.
but as a producer.
Exactly.
And I think that's the most inspiring part of this whole story.
It is inspiring.
It's a story of aspiration, determination, and the belief in a brighter future
It's a good story.
for the continent.
It is.
And it's a story that's still being written.
Yeah.
But even in these early chapters,
Mm-hmm.
it offers these valuable lessons about the power of vision,
Absolutely.
the importance of collaboration,
Yeah.
and this transformative potential of education.
It's very important.
It's a story that I think has captured all of our attention,
Yes.
and one that we'll continue to follow with great interest.
Absolutely.
But before we dive into the next chapter,
Yeah.
I want to give you, our listener, a moment to reflect.
Yeah. Take a moment.
What stands out to you about Rwanda's journey so far?
Think about it.
What aspects of their vision resonate with you the most?
What's important?
Take a moment to ponder those questions, and we'll be right back to continue our deep dive into Rwanda's ambitious quest to become a hub of higher education in Africa.
It's really inspiring to see a nation like Rwanda, really proactively taking on these challenges that come with such rapid growth in higher education.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just about expanding access.
Right.
They're really focused on making sure these programs
Yeah.
actually align with what the job market needs.
It's a very practical approach.
Yeah.
And it's effective.
Yeah.
Equipping those graduates with those in-demand skills,
Mm-hmm.
increasing their chances of finding good jobs.
And that benefits everybody.
It does. It benefits the students.
Yeah.
It strengthens Rwanda's economy,
Mm-hmm.
and it enhances the reputation of their universities.
So it's kind of like a cycle.
It is a cycle.
The stronger reputation you have, the more students you attract,
Yeah.
the more investment,
Mhm.
the more improvement.
Absolutely.
But that also puts pressure on them
Oh, yeah, of course.
to maintain these standards.
The stakes get higher.
Right, because everybody's expecting more.
Exactly.
But it's not just about producing those workers for the current economy, right?
Right.
It's about nurturing the next generation,
Yeah.
the innovators and entrepreneurs who will drive future growth in Africa.
Absolutely.
And that's where the real potential lies.
It is.
It's about shifting from just filling jobs
Right.
to fostering that knowledge-based economy
Yeah.
where homegrown talent is leading the way.
Exactly. And that's why this focus on STEM fields is so important.
Yeah, science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
All of those.
Those are huge right now.
Yeah, those are the areas that are going to drive innovation
Yeah,
and technological advancement in the coming years.
it's the future.
It is the future.
And it's not just about attracting students from within Rwanda. It's about becoming that destination
Mm,
for the brightest minds from all over the continent.
absolutely.
So if Rwanda can create that kind of intellectual hub,
Yeah,
it really could have a transformative effect on
right.
Africa's development.
totally agree.
Now, we talked about some potential challenges before.
Yes.
Ensuring that quality across this rapidly expanding system,
Right.
providing adequate housing and support,
Mm-hmm.
these are real concerns.
They are.
How do you think Rwanda's approaching these complexities?
Mm,
Well, it seems like they're tackling things from multiple angles,
yeah.
like the planned increase in hostel capacity at the University of Rwanda.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good concrete step
It is.
to address that accommodation challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the bigger picture? How are they going to ensure that quality doesn't slip?
Well, their approach to quality control is really interesting.
Okay.
They're doing this comprehensive review of all university programs,
Okay.
phasing out the ones that are no longer relevant,
Oh, wow.
and really focusing on developing new programs that are in high demand.
So it's about staying current.
Yeah, staying up to date
Yeah.
with what the market needs.
Oh.
That's how they're ensuring that the education offered remains relevant
and high quality.
and high quality, yeah.
I also think it's really great that they're
Yeah.
seeking input from so many different stakeholders,
Yes.
like we saw with MP Belinda Rutabuka,
Mm-hmm.
suggesting that dedicated center to help the foreign students.
Yeah.
That shows that they're really focused
Yeah, they are.
on the little things,
Mhm.
not just the big picture.
Yeah. Thinking about those individual experiences
Exactly.
of the students they're trying to attract.
So it's about creating that supportive ecosystem.
It is.
Yeah, it's not just about building the fancy universities.
Right. You need that support system.
You got to make sure that it's a welcoming environment for everybody
Absolutely.
from all backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of that cultural integration,
Yeah.
how's Rwanda approaching that?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our current sources don't offer a lot of specific details on that front.
Oh, okay.
But I think considering Rwanda's overall commitment
Yeah.
to building an inclusive and welcoming environment,
Yeah.
I think it's likely that they're considering this aspect as well.
I hope so, because creating that sense of belonging
It's crucial.
is crucial for students,
Yes.
especially if they're coming from somewhere else.
Especially then.
So hopefully we'll learn more about that in the future.
I hope so.
So we've talked about the growth,
Yes.
the planning,
Mhm.
the focus on quality and relevance,
Right.
and the importance of creating that supportive ecosystem.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It's clear that Rwanda's approaching this ambition with a lot of thoughtfulness
They are.
and determination. But now I want to shift our focus a little bit.
Okay.
What could Rwanda's success mean for the future of Africa? What happens if this vision actually becomes reality?
This is where things get really exciting.
Okay.
Imagine in Africa where the continent's brightest minds,
Yeah.
they don't feel the need to go abroad
Yeah.
for a good education.
They can get it at home.
Exactly, they can stay.
Yeah.
And they're drawn to these top-tier institutions
Yeah.
right here in Africa,
Amazing.
contributing their talents and ideas to the continent's growth.
So it's that brain gain, not brain drain.
It is, it's turning it around.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And with that, you get innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth.
It's a whole new future.
Yeah, you see African universities becoming these global centers of excellence,
Wow.
driving research and development
Wow.
in areas like agriculture, healthcare, renewable energy technology.
It's transformative.
It's huge.
But let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
What are some of the potential roadblocks?
Well, funding is a big one.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Building and maintaining these world-class universities is expensive.
Makes sense.
And Rwanda's going to need to secure a lot of money.
So securing that funding is essential.
Absolutely.
What other challenges do you see?
Attracting and retaining top faculty.
Oh, yeah. They're going to need the best of the best
Exactly.
to teach.
You got to have those brilliant minds
Yeah.
teaching and researching.
What else?
Another challenge is making sure that the entire education system keeps pace
Okay. Yeah.
with that rapid growth of higher education.
So it's not just about the universities. It's about
Yeah,
the whole system.
the whole thing.
Got to keep up.
Yeah, you got to strengthen primary and secondary education.
Right. Because if you don't have a good base,
Exactly.
they're not going to be prepared for university.
You got to build that pipeline of talent.
That makes sense.
And we can't forget about the geopolitical context.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Political stability, regional cooperation, global partnerships.
All of that plays a role
It all matters.
in their success.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about what's happening within Rwanda.
Right.
It's about the bigger picture.
It's about the whole region.
Yeah.
And the world.
So they need that stable and supportive environment,
They do.
both within Rwanda and outside.
It's a lot to manage.
It's a complex endeavor with a lot of moving parts.
It is.
I think they're going to need
Sure.
a multifaceted approach
Absolutely.
to navigate all of this.
You need strategic planning, collaboration, adaptability, a willingness to learn
Yeah.
from both successes and setbacks.
So it's a journey
It is a journey.
that demands ambition and pragmatism.
Absolutely.
We've talked about a lot.
We have.
The exciting possibilities, the potential pitfalls,
Yes.
Rwanda's ambition. It's a story that raises as many questions as
Yeah.
it answers.
It does.
But before we dig into those questions,
Okay.
I want to turn it over to you, our listener.
Yeah.
What aspects of Rwanda's journey have resonated with you the most?
Think about it.
What challenges do you think are going to be the most difficult to overcome?
What really stood out to you?
And what do you see as the long-term impact of their success?
Just something to think about.
Take a moment to reflect on these questions, and we'll be back shortly to continue our exploration of Rwanda's quest to become a leading center of higher education in Africa.
It's been really fascinating taking this look at Rwanda's vision for higher education.
It has.
They're not messing around.
Not at all.
They're really taking those steps
Yeah.
to lay the foundation
Mm-hmm.
for lasting change.
Real change.
Yeah, and we've seen how they're tackling those practical matters,
Absolutely.
like student housing,
Right.
and making sure that those programs align with real-world needs.
Making it practical.
But it's bigger than that.
Oh, it is.
It's about creating a culture of learning, innovation, collaboration.
A whole new way of thinking.
And that's where I think the potential for real change lies.
Yeah. It's exciting. And I think it's encouraging
Yeah,
that they're seeking that input
absolutely.
from everyone involved.
There's commitment.
Yeah. From the parliamentarians to the students themselves.
That's a good sign.
It shows that they're trying to build a system that really works for everyone.
It does?
And of course, we talked about the challenges.
Yeah.
The funding,
It's always a challenge.
attracting those top faculty,
For the best.
making sure the whole education system can keep up.
Yeah. It's a big task.
Those challenges aren't unique to Rwanda.
No, they're not.
Every country that's trying to be a leader
Yeah.
faces those same obstacles.
Absolutely.
I think that's where the real interesting breakthroughs happen, though,
I agree.
when you're forced to come up with creative solutions.
Yeah. You have to think outside the box.
Forge those partnerships,
Mm-hmm.
really push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's how progress is made.
So as we wrap up our deep dive
Yeah.
into Rwanda's higher education ambitions,
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave you with this.
Oh.
Imagine what happens
Yeah.
if they pull this off.
It's exciting to think about.
This thriving, world-class education hub,
Right there in Africa.
attracting all that talent
Yeah.
from all over.
Amazing.
That vision
Mm-hmm.
could completely reshape higher education
Absolutely.
and the future of the continent itself.
It's a game changer.
It's a journey that's just beginning,
Yeah, we're just at the start.
and we'll be watching to see how it all unfolds.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.